So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of our season 2 of our Team Lotus F1 Manager Save. Now if you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch that one. We had a crazy crash in Melbourne and it was Lando Norris who won the Grand Prix, Pierre Gasly in P2, Carlos Sainz in P3. We had a late red flag, there was lots of drama. Go back and watch it. It was P15 and P17 for Fittipaldi and Hauger on the day. Slightly disappointed, but still it got us quite a bit of money, which is the main thing. You can see in the bottom right hand corner, just minus 4 million now. We are nearly in the black and we can start upgrading the car at that point. If we have a quick look at the constructor standings, McLaren are leading the way from Red Bull, only 4 points behind McLaren. Aston Martin a further 50 odd points back in P3, Ferrari in P4. We've not yet scored a point, but remember, there's a long way to go this season. Drivers standings wise, Max Verstappen is level with Lando Norris, 58 points apiece, and after this weekend just gone in Mexico, will they come to blows on here as well? Oscar Piastri in P3 and Carlos Sainz in P4. Just a quick look at the F2 drivers and constructors and the F3 constructors and drivers there. Rodin Motorsport doing very well and Rafael Villagomez doing very well as well. We haven't upgraded the car, of course, because we haven't quite got the money to do that yet, so we're going to straight away have a look at where we're going this weekend, and that is the Japanese Grand Prix. We are expecting rain on Friday and Saturday, possibly a chance of rain on Sunday as well. 53 laps around this circuit. Car attributes medium and high speed cornering. This might be a difficult race for us this time round. Expected strategy is definitely a 2-stop, and there is a lot of exciting things coming. Once we get this balance sorted out and the finances sorted out, we can start upgrading the car. We might even look for a new driver as well. But all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix. We have had a red flag in Q1. I've just brought you back to see this. Hopefully we're going to get a view. It's going to be Esteban Ocon who's going to be struggling in that Williams. Let's have a little look at what happens here. Coming up to the final chicane, and he smashes into the back of that McLaren as well. Punts it through the wall. Esteban Ocon's got to be so disappointed. It's been difficult conditions so far in qualifying, but my word, that's going to have significant repercussions for the race. Final flying laps then in Q2, and it's not looking promising for us getting through to Q3. Hauger is pushing the limits here to see if he can possibly bridge that 10th.5 gap to Pierre Gasly, who is on the bubble at this moment in time. We can see Hauger does get a green final sector. Is he going to be enough to get him into Q3? It isn't. Fittipaldi similar. He's yellow through the first and second sectors. Is he going to manage to improve on his first time? He isn't. And that is quite a disappointing end to qualifying. If Hauger could stay in front of Lawson, that would be ideal, as Lawson now comes around the final corner. Is he going to get into Q3? He isn't. Lawson finishes behind Hauger, and it is going to be P11 and P14 for Hauger and Fittipaldi respectively, just forwarding on to Q3 results, and it will be Lando Norris who is on pole position from Max Verstappen, Leclerc in P3, Gasly and Stroll and the Aston Martins in P4 and 5, and Albon has got a grid penalty, so Hauger might start in the top 10, but let's have a look at the strategy for Sunday. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, two different strategies. Hauger starting in P10. He's going to start on the softs, go on to a set of mediums, and another fresh set of mediums towards the end. Fittipaldi has got two fresh sets of softs, so it's soft, medium, soft for Fittipaldi. Took a little bit of fuel out. I think we might get a safety car here today. P10, P14. Let's get to 5 red lights.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. Well, they certainly appear calm and composed heading into this race.
Starting P10 puts them in the right place to get some points, but there's still a lot to do.
Right, let's get to it then. Get ready, it's the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Norris gets away well at the start. Max Verstappen on the soft compounded tyre. Can he make a move into turn 1? Norris manages to stay in, and Leclerc is fighting with Verstappen. Verstappen will stay in P2 ahead of Charles Leclerc. Runs a little bit wide. Hauger down in P10, settled in nicely, not getting involved in anything early doors. We've got a Mercedes on the grass there, cutting the corner. It is all happening between Perez, Russell and Bottas, and this Mercedes is spending more time on the grass than it is on the tarmac at the moment. I believe it's George Russell causing a few problems, but now Bottas is under attack from Hauger, and Hauger has managed to get past him, or has he? Because Bottas dives back down the inside, and Bottas maintains P9 to start off with. Fittipaldi making a decent start, maintaining his position in P14. Will he fancy a move on the kick Sauder? Not at this moment. Hauger again looking at the back of Bottas. He's all over the back of Valtteri Bottas at this moment in time. It's been a very, very positive start from Dennis Hauger. Very, very interesting indeed what can be done here. But Norris leads the Grand Prix on the medium tyres, and he's 0.4 of a second clear of Verstappen. Alex Albon has had a little bit of a mare here. As you can see, was running in P12. You can see Hauger is totally under pressure from Liam Lawson in that Ferrari. Unfortunately, Alexander Albon managed to not crash into the back of that Ferrari, and we can see Fittipaldi getting a free position there as well. So now Fittipaldi is up to P10. It must be said he's 3.5 seconds behind Liam Lawson, but he's now 3.5 seconds behind Hauger because Hauger has lost the position to Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson in that Ferrari not pulling up any trees at this moment in time. I'm not overly disappointed with what's happening here because we weren't a quicker car than the Ferrari. Maybe this time next year we might be, but Liam Lawson managing to get the move done on Hauger. I think that Lotus looks very, very nice, by the way. But yeah, Liam Lawson into turn 1, managing to get the job done now. Hopefully Hauger can just keep on the back of him. He must be saying he's struggling for pace at this moment in time, but Fittipaldi's doing a smashing job at the moment of keeping Piastri behind, and hopefully he can do that a little bit longer, because if Hauger scores points, that would be ideal. Lap 5, Verstappen now leads from Leclerc. Norris has dropped down to P3, but remember, he's on the medium compounded tyre. Oscar Piastri has managed to get past Fittipaldi, and it's going to be interesting this, because let's just keep an eye on what happens here. Piastri, what move does he make? He dives down the inside, and it must be said Fittipaldi runs wide, goes on the grass. He got shoved off a little bit there, and that has caused a problem, because not only has he lost the place, he's also got some minor underfloor damage. So Fittipaldi not having the best of starts here. Hauger doing his best to keep on the back of Liam Lawson. He's doing a little bit more than keeping on the back of Liam Lawson. He's actually overtaking him. Let's just have a look at this. He gets it. He gets his elbows out. Beautiful work from Hauger. It's got to be said, I think Hauger is a better driver than Fittipaldi. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But Hauger doing very, very well in his rookie year in Formula 1. He's happy with the tyres. He's happy with everything at the moment. He's 4.8 seconds behind Bottas. Fittipaldi now, with that underfloor damage, has lost the back of Piastri. Hopefully he can keep Tsunoda behind. These two are exchanging positions all the time, and this time it's Lawson diving to the inside. He moves to the inside into turn 1. Hauger didn't really try and defend it, but Lawson did shove him a little bit wide as well, and he has just temporarily lost DRS. We are just now trying to get Hauger back in the DRS of Liam Lawson, because that's going to be a big help when he's got a flying McLaren behind him. Lap 7, Leclerc still leads. Verstappen in P2. Norris has dropped to P4. We have a virtual safety car on lap 9. DRS has been disabled, and it's Zhou Guanyu again. He had a big crash in Melbourne. What's he done here in the Toyota Haas? What's he managed to do? Into the right-hander, spins off, goes careering into the barriers. In his new pants after that. I mean, he ought to really, because that was quite a big shunt from the Chinese driver. Hands on the head in the Haas garage. And now we're just going to conserve a little bit of fuel, charge up a little bit of battery, and it's still P11 for Hauger. Lap 13, you join us back, and we are watching Hauger with the DRS wide open. You can see Liam Lawson actually struggling with a little bit of a mechanical fault at the moment, and that hopefully will hold Piastri up a little bit. So Hauger now up into the points. We'll have a full rundown. It's Verstappen leading with the fastest lap at this moment in time. Leclerc in P2. Gasly is in at P3 under pressure from Norris in P4, whose tyres are now starting to come into their own. Sainz is in P5. Stroll P6. Bottas is in P8. Russell's in P7. Why not mix it up a little bit? Perez in P9. Hauger in P10, Lawson in P11, and Fittipaldi still hanging on to the back now of Nico Hülkenberg, just about, and he's got, he's going to just about get DRS's Fittipaldi, despite having the underfloor damage. Pit stops are coming up soon. This was the one that we feared, because Piastri, once he got past, we're never going to be able to keep pace with a McLaren, and with that DRS wide open, he got past very, very comfortably. You can see nearly up to 300 kph there down the start-finish straight. Fair play to Piastri. He's managing to battle back well after that incident in qualifying. But Hauger now 1.27. He's lost DRS. It's him and Lawson that's got to work together. Porsche's overtaking Fittipaldi. He's really struggling with this underfloor. Fittipaldi's just got to make sure that he gets his race bonus today. That's the important point for us with the money that we're trying to get this season. But Porsche, great move from him in the Kick Sauber in the silent helicopter cam. But pit stops are coming up very, very soon. We've got a few cars pitting this lap, and Hauger is one of them. Hauger is into the pits from P12, as is Lawson, Russell, Leclerc. We've got a lot of cars in at this moment in time, and it must be said Fittipaldi, he's going to come in on the next lap as well. But let's watch this pit stop as Hauger comes in for his first one. Are we going to get a decent pit stop from the crew? Is it the quickest? 2.5 seconds. It feels longer because we're getting held for the Ferrari and also the Alpine. The Ferrari of Lawson did a very, very well there because they managed to get him out. Obviously disappointing being that far down the pit lane, but sometimes that will happen. Hauger now comes out behind Lawson, and he's going to have to chase after him on these fresh medium tyres. Fittipaldi is in this lap. Fittipaldi is into the pits. We have been telling Hauger to get a shift on because we need him to catch Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson on the soft compound tyres, but DRS is really helping us in this Grand Prix so far. 2.4 seconds stop for Fittipaldi. He'll take that all day long. Is he now back in the DRS? Hauger, he certainly is. We can just calm it down a little bit now with the ERS, and Fittipaldi will come out. Will he come out in front of the Alpine? No, he won't, but he'll come out in front of the Williams and the Toyota that's battling away. So Fittipaldi is out into P17. He can now get a shift on and try and catch up with that Alpine in front. Hauger just about back in the DRS of Lawson, but really, really struggling to stay in it. Lap 18, all to play for, but we're going to see George Russell having a little bit of a lock-up now as well. He's currently riding in P8. I think he's just had his pit stop as well. But George Russell, what happens into this left-hander? Just carries straight on. Not ideal at all for the British driver. We have got another virtual safety car on circuit, and it's got to be said, Hauger might be involved in this, but not in the worst way, because you can see they're battling away. And Hauger just gets his elbows out a little bit round the left-hander, and he punts Liam Lawson in to the wall. I mean, let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Penalty for Lawson? Penalty for Hauger, should I say? Or was it just fair racing and Lawson couldn't quite handle it? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Lawson has now retired, so we aren't going to be fighting him. And that works very well for Hauger. Porsche just got a very nice pit stop indeed as well. That's going to work very, very well for him. But Hauger now, he's got Hülkenberg on the back of him, but he will take this all day long. Nico Hülkenberg has just managed to get past Hauger on the VSC restart. As soon as we were back to green flag running, he was all over the back of our driver and he managed to get past him beautifully. But he is on the soft compounded tyre, Hauger on the medium, of course, and now he's going to be looking to get DRS as we come onto this start finish straight. Let's just have a little look at what happens here. He's not going to get DRS. Very disappointing for Hauger. Let's just keep an eye on whether he gets this rear wing open. He does, just about, so he can now push on. We're going to just tell him to push on the tyres a little bit as well, because we would like to catch up to Hülkenberg and make sure we stay in that DRS. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi is really struggling with this underfloor at the moment. You can see he's under pressure now from Logan Sargent. He's got to get P20 to get his sponsorship rewards today, and that's all we're looking at the moment. Just about halfway, and it must be said Hauger has now got underfloor damage as well. He took a curb, and he was fighting with Alexander Albon, I believe this is. Yes, while he was fighting with Albon, he did end up going over a curb, and that has damaged the underfloor on the Lotus. So both cars now have minor underfloor damage. It must be said Albon is in P12, Hauger P13, Fittipaldi in P17. We'll have a rundown of the top 10 because it looks like Lando Norris might be trying a one-stop today. He's gone very, very long on these medium compounded tyres, 37%. He's running his own races, Lando. Leclerc's in P2, Stroll in P3, then comes Sainz, Gasly, Verstappen in P6, Russell, Bottas, Piastri and Perez make up the top 10. Hauger is holding on to the back of Albon just about, and he's making it work at the moment. But that underfloor damage, if it affects him how it does Fittipaldi, could be in trouble. And it's got to be said, I'm seriously worried about Fittipaldi not getting his sponsorship money today because he's now lost a position to Logan Sargent. He's really struggling with that Lotus at the moment. And Logan Sargent goes through on the young Brazilian driver. He's now down in P18. Hauger really struggling to stay in touching distance of Alexander Albon. We're attacking on the tyres where we can just to try and keep him in that DRS. But Théo Pourchaire is looking menacing behind the Lotus. That underfloor damage is getting worse, and now Pourchaire was on the bike, got DRS on Hauger, And that was job done. That was all she wrote. He was nowhere near defending that. He was lucky he didn't lose 2 positions. So Hauger now tumbling down the order a little bit, under pressure now from Daniel Ricciardo. Defends that well, but this defending that he's having to do could possibly get him out of the DRS of Porsche, and that is something that he cannot afford to do. He's going backwards now. Hauger is really struggling with this underfloor damage, and now you can see the RB of Daniel Ricciardo down the inside of the young driver into turn 1. Job done, and Daniel Ricciardo is up into P14. Hauger now drops to P15, and as you can see, dropping like a stone at the moment. Fittipaldi still fighting it out with Sargent. I think we'll get his bonus money today, but now where we were looking like we were fighting for points at one point, it doesn't look like it's going that way now. Hauger has now really got to start looking after his tyres a little bit as well, so he can get to this final medium stint, but so disappointing at the moment. Box for Hauger, it must be said that these tyres have run their race, and to be fair to Hauger, look, if we finish above P20 today, Lawson and Joe are out. We've got to think about the money at this stage. This season is going to be a testing season for us. It's going to be a testing season as drivers, as a team principal, as a viewer at times, but we are doing the best to make best of this situation and hopefully go into the next season very, very strong indeed. We're just going to switch Fittipaldi onto his next set of tyres for the next lap. But it's a decent pit stop time, 2.7 seconds. Hauger will come out. Where he'll come out, I'm guessing in front of Nico Hülkenberg, maybe behind Nico Hülkenberg, who would had a little bit of a spin. Hauger now comes out in P18. Sargent still coming round, so it's P18 for him now. Where is he going to finish today? We will see. Fittipaldi's in this lap. And into the box comes Fittipaldi for his pit stop. Is it another decent pit stop? It certainly is. He's on to a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Is Fittipaldi. Hauger is 5.6 seconds behind Ocon, who's got major engine issues. Maybe Hauger can gain another couple of positions here. We will see. We're just going to calm him down on the tyres. Fittipaldi comes out in P18 ahead of Sargent. He should secure a decent position today. 15 to go. Lando Norris is on the soft compounder tyre. Is he going to have to pit again? You would think he would. Verstappen's in P2, yet to pit again. Leclerc's completed his pit stops, as has Sainz and as has Lance Stroll. Very interesting towards the end here. Russell's in P7. Bottas will be P8 once Perez pits, and Piastri's in P10. Porsche, will he get lucky with another safety car? We went for it and we got it. Fittipaldi, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. How long that's going to last for, I'm not sure, but Fittipaldi absolutely burnt the battery. Hauger is dropping like a stone. This underfloor damage is very much causing him problems. I think without that, he might have had a better race today. But we are P16 and P17 at the moment. I can't see Sargent, Veste or Ocon catching us. So hopefully that's going to secure us the money today. But Norris is still on the soft compound tyres. Are they going to be able to last the Grand Prix and keep ahead of Charles Leclerc and Sainz? We'll see shortly. That's really annoying. Max Verstappen's just got the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix and taking it off Fittipaldi. How disappointing. We have got a safety car on track, safety car deployed, and we are just coming up to the pit lane. We're just going to have a look at this crash on circuit. Let's have a little look at what happens here. Oh my word, it's Charles Leclerc versus Carlos Sainz, former teammates. What's going to happen here? Leclerc, oh my word. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know down in the comments what you thought of that one. A big crash towards the end here. Controversial, but both Lotuses are in this lap. And into the pit lane come both cars. Sainz has retired from the Grand Prix. Hauger is coming in, as is Fittipaldi. Now we haven't got fresh sets of soft compound tyres, but we have got pretty decent sets for both cars. It made sense to get them both in. We don't need any bad pit stops here. Hauger gets in, as does Fittipaldi. Both cars will now go out on these soft compound tyres. We'll bunch right up together. What will the end of this Grand Prix bring? Safety car is in this lap, but the lap cars have not caught up to the lead pack. So that's going to be a rather disappointing episode here, because I thought if we could catch up to the pack, it would have been a very, very interesting end to this Grand Prix. So we're going to focus on Max Verstappen, who is on very much used set of soft compound tyres. Norris is in P2, Gasly in P3. It looks like this is Lando Norris's to lose now. Where are the rest of the cars still coming round Sector 2, so we're not going to be in the fight for the lead, but Verstappen leads away from Norris. Gasly in P3, Leclerc's got a 5-second penalty in P4, Stroll in P5, Russell, Bottas, Piastri in P8, Perez in P9, Albon in P10. Fittipaldi and Hauger have got the best tyres in the back of the field. Where will they end up? We'll find out very, very shortly. Final lap then of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris leads, but Max Verstappen is chasing him down here in Suzuka. What can Max Verstappen do? He has a little look to the inside. It's Norris versus Verstappen, just like it is in real life. It's happening here in Season 2 on our F1 Manager career mode, and Verstappen has got the fastest lap, but Lando Norris has got the tyres. Really, there's no way on earth that Max Verstappen should be able to overtake him, but would you bet against him? He's pulling out the gap, Lando Norris, in this middle sector. This is where the tyres will start to really come into their own. As we can see, it's now up to 0.8 of a second for Lando Norris. Leclerc's in P3, a little bit further back. He's fighting Lance Stroll. The two Lotus drivers in P15 and P16 respectively. It's been a decent showing from Lotus in this race, in our 4th race of this season. We're quite happy we're raking that money in, but Lando Norris now is coming round the final sector, coming up towards 130R in a few moments time, as it's this now long straight up towards 130R. Lando Norris is pulled away from Max Verstappen. There's nothing Max Verstappen can do in that Red Bull at this moment. Charles Leclerc, who's got that 5-second penalty, is going to drop a fair few places today. Perez in P9, Albon in P10. He's going to score a point for Williams, but Lando Norris, he's got the strategy right on the day. That late safety car has paid dividends, and Lando Norris will win the Japanese Grand Prix. Verstappen in P2, Leclerc in P3, and Fittipaldi and Hauger respectively P15 and P16 doing what they do best. They are picking up decent results. We're not getting points, but they keep performing to the sponsors' expectations, and I can't stress to you, ladies and gentlemen, how important this is in these early stages of this season, to make sure that we get back out of financial insecurity, to be able to not only invest in the car, the infrastructure of this Norfolk-based team, but also look at possibly bringing in a more experienced driver. P15 and P16. Let's see the podium.
Lando Norris certainly loves the podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
What an excellent way to take a second win of the season, with a composed performance today.
Composed performance indeed, and Max Verstappen looks very steely faced on that podium. The McLaren engineer there getting a bit of champagne on him, but Lando Norris wins the Grand Prix from Max Verstappen, who did get the fastest lap. Stroll in P3, Pierre Gasly in P4. The Aston Martin's looking very strong at the moment. Russell P5 and Bottas in P6. Leclerc drops down to 7th position with the 5-second penalty. Piastri P8, Perez P9, and Albon rounds off the top 10. Fittipaldi's in P15. Hauger dropped to P16. That underflow damage on both cars really didn't help us. We did have 3 DNFs on the day. Carlos Sainz, Liam Lawson, and Zhou Guanyu, remember, needed some new pants during his crash. Driver standings wise, McLaren are leading now with Lando Norris on 83 points, Verstappen on 77, Piastri in P3 and Gasly in P4. No points yet for the Team Lotus cars, but I'm sure it will come P19 and P20. Constructors standings wise, McLaren lead on 130, 14 points clear of Red Bull, but Aston Martin don't write them off just yet. We've got 3 teams yet to score a point. Sadly, Team Lotus are one of them, Haas and Kick Sauber the other 2. But remember briefly, we did have the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that one. Please do like and subscribe, and I shall see you in China for a sprint weekend next. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.